I used to get frustrated when I watched study YouTubers because they just don't understand. They'll be like, oh, make sure to study in the morning because that's the best time to up your concentration. Make sure to do intermittent fasting because like that will boost your cognitive abilities. But as a student, you'll relate that you literally have to wake up at 6 o'clock because of school, shovel breakfast down and then leave by 6:30. And not to mention that as students, we don't just study. In a week, I do piano lessons, badminton 5 times a week, symphony orchestra, kickboxing, clarinet lessons. I go to the gym, and on top of that, I have to make videos. And guess what? On top of all of that, I also have to study because yes, I'm a student. Time management is something that I'm evidently strong at, having to balance all those things, but it's also something that's very overlooked and you don't really learn it. People are always like, J-Spark, how do you balance everything? Because I just don't have time to do things. Yo, that's crazy. How can it be that you have no time, but I have the time? Because we all get 24 hours in a day. And I'm gonna tell you how you can balance everything and do more in less time. Number 1, self-care. The thing that takes out a lot of time is self-care. Now, I don't want to get cancelled, but for a lot of students, there's like this idea of, oh, studying so hard. Like, I've just done like so much studying. I deserve a rest. You know what? I'm just gonna like watch a movie or like go on my phone because I deserve it. Like, it's okay. I've worked so hard. Let's say you have a cat. And for everything it does, like the basic things like meowing, walking, sitting, doing a really easy task, you gave it a treat for every time it did that. Bro, that cat's gonna be big as hell after a month, right? Because you're literally giving it a treat after every little thing. And in the end, it's gonna end up doing the things it was doing, like walking less because it's bigger. Well, you're the exact same. You're rewarding yourself after every little thing. And that's making yourself fat mentally. You're gonna feel demotivated and lazy to study because you give too much time to self-care and you deserve a rest. It's almost like you made it a rule that, oh, every time I study, I'm gonna give myself a rest because otherwise I'm gonna get burnt out. But like, you have no idea what burning out is. And you need to be experimental with this. If normally after every evening you go on Netflix for like 2 hours, experiment how it feels with 1 hour and 30 minutes. And if you don't find a difference, that's just 30 minutes you've saved every single day. And you can take this another step by making your unwinding self-care activity another hobby you already want to start, like going to the gym. And that's why my self-care unwinding activity in the evenings is normally going to the gym or doing instruments. And these are both productive things that I want to be doing, making time for those other things. And that's not to say I don't cope too, and I do have the fat cat mentality sometimes as well. Yesterday I recorded like 2 videos and I worked really hard and I just wanted to unwind. So I was like watching YouTube and telling myself that, oh, I deserve this, man. I worked so hard. It's okay, like it's just a bit of YouTube, like it won't hurt. And even though I knew it was a big cope. So most students wish they had more time to partake in societies, clubs, or time to learn new things. And in fact, you do have the time there. You just need to find ways to replace the blocks of time you're wasting on doing BS things to doing productive things. Second, the 80-20 rule, Koch, says that we need to give up the belief that there's a scarcity of time. When we regard time as a scarce resource and we're always like, oh, but I have no time, like time, oh, I wish I had more time. The only option we can see for doing more of what we love is to squeeze pleasurable activities into the gaps of our lives. So in fact, when you say the phrase, I don't have time, that's actually just all a lie. We're most productive for a mere 20% of the time we spend working. If we simply focus our lives and time on the 20% of tasks that give us the highest return, that leaves 80% of our time open to do pleasurable things or productive work. The point is 80% of the results come from 20% of your actions. So in the case of studying, you could have spent 20% of the time just doing past paper questions, active recall things, and that would have been just as effective as your study session with all that random stuff. And sure, you can make your pretty notes or spend 14 hours making a color-coded poster with like sniffable like stickers on them. But that's only going to equate to the 20% of the results. And instead of doing those things, you could actually exercise or do other hobbies, which is actually proven to give you an academic boost anyway. You're 13% more productive when you're happy and you're doing things that you enjoy. So make a list of things that you probably don't need to do. Checking your emails and Discord while studying, making pretty notes. You don't really have to play that 30 minutes of Fortnite every evening either. Or there's just so many random BS tasks that are taking away your focus and attention which you can be using on other things. And the third thing is to schedule everything. If you want to find time for things, you need to schedule. If this pie chart represents your day and you cut it into quarters, you're only gonna have 4 slots to do things with, right? But if you cut that same pie into 8s, you're gonna have 8 slots to work with. You have to have a scarcity mindset. Know that your time is rare and valuable and you have to divide it well. And you have to be precise and name what you're going to do in those time blocks. That's the real way you're gonna find time. Like, look at this. Most days I plan my day by the hour. And even if I don't follow it 100%, it makes it so that my day has a routine, concrete way that's gonna flow out. So I know that in this time I'm gonna be doing this, and in that time I'm gonna be doing that. And also it's really eye-opening. Say like you normally like go on your phone for a bit in the morning and then for a bit in the evening. But then when you're scheduling and then you realize that, wait, I watched a K-drama episode in the morning and then also in the evening. And they're both an hour long. So that just means out of the 14 slots I have, considering that you wake up at 6 and go to bed at 9, you've wasted 2 out of the 14 slots, and 3 of the slots are taken up by meals. So actually, you just wasted more time than you think. You can get this template if you want in the description, but most importantly, you just need to get used to scheduling and making it a habit. By scheduling, you can use the pockets of time and find out that you actually do have these little pockets of time lying around. You may think that in between each lesson, the 10 minutes is insignificant, but if you have 6 lessons in a day, that's an hour each day. Time management is simple. You need to lose the ego and accept that you do waste your time doing random things. I don't have time, it's a myth. If there's people out there doing more than you, if I'm doing more than you, and I'm literally just the same type of student as you, you know that you could be knowing more as well. You just need to know how to use your time better. And so to repeat, reflect on your self-care, use the 80-20 rule and schedule everything. And pretty much you'll be able to time travel after that. And if you liked, leave a comment and like the video. And as always, I'll see you next time.